Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Stretch Professor, and today we're going to be doing another coaching session. So, special thanks to Shafiq for the generous donation. I really appreciate it. We're going to be looking at a silver Braum game, and this is patch 8.1, a couple of days before 8.2. So, I'm going to be talking about sort of what you can be doing on 8.1, and then some changes into what's going to happen in 8.2 in a couple of days, and how I think you might want to itemize Braum and do his runes and things like that. So if you're new to the channel, then you can always access this Google Doc in the description. Well, you can access it even if you're old to the channel as well. But if you don't know, you can always access the Google Doc that I'm going to be going over in the description. I'll have timestamps. You can jump around straight to the game start if you want. We'll spend probably about 5 or 10 minutes talking about the pregame here. Then we'll watch the game. I will comment on it as I watch it, and then I'll take a lot of physical notes in a notebook, and then at the very end I come together and sort of list the top 5 to 10 things that I think Shafiq could work on to really improve his game. If you would like a coaching session yourself, it's just $20. You can email me at thestratchprofessor@gmail.com if you want to set that up. Usually I can get them done maybe 3 to 5 days, sometimes a little bit faster, depending on my schedule. But I am a university instructor, and I do get quite a queue of a lot of these that people ask for over time. I try to get through them as fast as I can. Also a family man, wife, daughter, all that kind of stuff. So I do them as fast as I can, but if you have any questions about it, you want to set that up, just email me at thestratchprofessor@gmail.com. I can tell you sort of the time span if you're time sensitive about it. If you want to see more coaching sessions, then you can just click on this playlist. I've got a bunch there. I think this is going to be the 83rd coaching session that I've done. And if you want to see individual champion guides, I have a list here. Unfortunately, I don't have one for Braum yet, but I do have a lot of other champions. If you want in-depth guides, that's available as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. So, as with every support champion, you should aim to have 1 control ward per 5 minutes on average. So if it's a 30-minute game, you should have placed at least 6 control wards. You want to aim for 1 normal ward per minute. So 30-minute game, 30 wards. If you take zombie ward, you should have twice that, 60 wards in 30 minutes. The following runes are what you should run for Braum in the preseason: Guardian, Font of Life, Conditioning, Second Wind. Very little of that is negotiable. I think those 4 are always going to be there. As far as Font of Life, you could go something like Demolish if you want a little bit more tower pressure, or you could even go for the Tenacity one. I forgot what it's called. I think those are a little subpar. I do like Font of Life because you're going to be stacking a lot of health, and you have a lot of slows innate in your kit with your ult, the stuns from your passive, the slow from your Q. So that means you're going to have a lot of these Font of Life debuffs on the enemy, and that creates quite a bit of healing over time. So if you have, 2,000 health in the mid game, that gives 20 on-hit healing for everybody that hits the target, which is really, really good. I mean, that's a lot of healing. I talk about this, I don't remember which video I talked about it, but it's equivalent to a lot of lifesteal. A lot of lifesteal. So it's almost like you're giving your allies like a bloodthirster, the lifesteal of a bloodthirster or a Blade of the Ruined King in the mid game with it, which is very powerful. So I think that's a very underrated rune, and it's really, really good. So I would highly recommend doing Font of Life, because Braum naturally wants to be a team fighter. He's not a split pusher. Like, you can use Demolish, but you're not going to use it that often. And the Tenacity, it really doesn't matter if you get crowd controlled that much. Like, it's nice to have a little bit of extra tenacity, of course, but I really think that Font of Life, since you're already a team fighter, is where you want to be. If you're in a really tough lane, you can go something like Mirror Shield for the extra magic resist early, but if you don't think you're going to get completely destroyed in lane, and people aren't playing very lane-dominant champions right now, you might face a Zyra or 2 where you may want to go Mirror Shield, but in general, I think Conditioning is your best bet. And then Second Wind is standard. There's nothing else that you would want to take there. Overgrowth is terrible. Like, the numbers are just really bad on it. They need to buff that a couple of times before it's worth it. And then obviously, you're not going to want to take Revitalize because you don't have any heals or shields. It is nice for Locket, but it's not worth it overall. The next 2 are a little more controversial. I always take Zombie Ward and Genius Hunter. I've talked about this in virtually every video that I've done in the preseason. Zombie Ward is so good. Now, they are nerfing it on the next patch to where it starts off at 60 seconds and works its way up to the 180 seconds that it is right now. So it's not going to be as strong in the early game, but that's still a lot of extra vision. I mean, if you just think of it percentage-wise, like a normal ward, like your yellow ward before you get your Sightstone, or what's going to be your Tier 2 quest item now, is 1 minute. This doubles the time, so it's almost doubling your wards early on. When it dies. So I think it's still going to be quite powerful, although not as powerful as it currently is. It'll still be good. And that's okay, because a lot of times these get swept up before they expire anyways. The enemy comes through and cleans them up, so it's okay. And the other major reason is Ingenious Hunter is just amazing on pretty much everybody. One thing that people forget about Ingenious Hunter is that does apply to your sweeper as well, so that allows you to control vision much better, and it's naturally a combo with Zombie Ward. The more wards you sweep, the more zombie wards you get, the more vision that you have. So that's a great combo there. Now, they are getting rid of Ruby Sightstone, so you're not going to have Ruby Sightstone plus Ingenious Hunter, but you'll still be able to get 40% item CDR, which is really nice. So I still would recommend Ingenious Hunter. Other people might recommend things like Magical Footwear, or like Magical Footwear and like Stopwatch, or Magical Footwear and...
Magical Footwear?
Yeah.
You getting some magical footwear, dear?
Yeah, it's a coaching video, dear. Are you wanting this?
Sure.
Wife's coming through and
I want some of that
little,
magical footwear.
Yeah, little office space here. Magical Footwear, like what are those things you get? Those shoes, Sperry's. Yeah, yeah, they're Magical Footwears like Sperry's.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think it's worth it. So it gives you more sweeper, and it does apply to Locket and Nice Vow still. So yes, you're not going to have the Ruby Sightstone to like truly like get the item actives down a lot, but it's still useful. So yeah, you get Magical Footwear, and Biscuits in a tough lane can help you out, or Magical Footwear, and 5% cooldown from Cosmic Insight. Everybody likes to go for those things. I wouldn't get Stopwatch on Braum. I mean, I know it's all the rage right now, but there's just not a good item you would build that into. I mean, I guess you could build it into, like, Gargoyle Stoneplate later, but I don't think that's a great item, so at least not on Braum. Magical Footwear is really strong, but I wouldn't personally give up Zombie Ward and Ingenious Hunter. I think that's still just too much vision control. But it's up to you. Alright, so a good build as of 8.2, you want to go this Remnant of the Aspect, which this is the new item, the new forward item, which I didn't think it was going to be that efficient, but it actually is. If we look at the cost of it, it's 2,200 value for 115% gold efficiency, which is quite the upgrade, because Targon's Brace is only 72% efficient. So that's not really that efficient at all. It has 175 health. Let's see, how much of that efficiency are you getting in health? Let's see, so 17500. Okay, you're getting 865 gold worth of health. So you're basically paying 185 gold, so you're getting up to this amount of value worth of extra health. Wait, is that right? Say 170. Yeah. Wait, hold on. I think I confused me. Okay, 500 minus 175 equals times 2.66. There we go. Okay, 865. I don't know where I got that other number. So you're getting 860. Oh, I added the... Sorry. Working on low sleep here. I added the original value. So you're adding an extra 865 health to the cost of the 850 on the base item. That's where you get to that. So you're paying 185 gold for 150% health regen, and having the forward slot, and having 4 charges on it. So that's actually a pretty good bargain. This I guess it's whatever the Remnant. Eye of the Equinox is one of the only ones where you can, in theory, generate more gold off of the final stack off the tier 3 rather than just the tier 2, because you get up to 4 charges instead of just 3 charges. Whereas every other thing, you know, with Frostfang going into Eye of the Watchers, you still only have 3 charges on it, and you still only get 40 gold per coin on the third item, which is what you get for the second one. So you don't get any benefit from the coin line or the Spell Thief line for moving up a slot, other than better raw stats and a 4th ward. This one you actually can generate more gold if you get up to 4 charges, which is not that hard to do when you're backing and warding and rotating and all that stuff. You'll get to 4 charges sometimes, so it is pretty nice. So yeah, I think that'll definitely be something that you'll want to finish off. I'm not sure if you'll want to finish all the other ones. I'll have to do the math on it, but for Braum, and anyone who's probably going to go for Targons, you will want to finish that up pretty quickly because it is cost efficient now. Just as a comparison, like this is 115% cost efficient. If we look at the current iteration of that, which is I have the Equinox at 2,200 or 2,300 gold. It's a lot worse. It's only 95% efficient. So the change to the gold items is actually making this item 20% more efficient when you complete it. So that's a really good upgrade. That's a really good upgrade. Okay, Ninja Tabis. You can go Merc Treads if you want. Ninja Tabis are great because that allows you to tank more tower shots, allows you to tank Barons, and there's just a lot of just normal AD threats out there, and they're just such a good cost-efficient item that they're ridiculous. They're still borderline overpowered. Ninja Tabis are amazing. In a pinch, you can get Mercury Treads. I wouldn't recommend getting mobility boots just because you're not like a fantastic roamer. It's okay to roam, and you're going to be taking a lot of hits with your shield, so you just want to be as tough as you possibly can be. Knight's Vows, pretty standard. Once again, you want to be tough, you want to have the health, you want to have the armor, and it does help protect your allies. And then after you get a couple of health items, after you get Aspect and Vow, then go Locket. I think rushing Locket without having much health first is pretty awful a lot of the time because Locket scales off of health. And then this is kind of a utility slot at the end. I think these 4 will be your core most of the time. In this utility slot, you could get Zeke's for a little bit of extra damage on your AD carry. You could get Banner of Command for a little extra map pressure. Those would probably be the 2 I recommend. Like, you could go something like Warmogs if you think you could potentially get poked out a lot. I don't really like that option too much. And then, of course, you'll have your Control Ward slot as the last item. So, you know, you are losing some toys in 8.2. You're not going to have Ruby Sightstone anymore. You're not going to have Face of the Mountain. So you're going to have to integrate, you know, a couple of more creative items in there. And I think that either Zeke's or Banner probably makes the most sense. And then finally, you want to max your Q, then your E, then your W. So the Q is your poke. It's your slow. It's how you start off the stacking your passive. Just the most important thing in your kit. Your E is really nice. That's your shield. As you level it up, it does go from 30% to 10%, which is nice scaling. It does go from 3 seconds to 4 seconds, but the scaling is not like ridiculously insane on it, you know. So it's pretty good. The cooldown going down a lot is pretty important. You could also go Frozen Heart on Braum, which could be okay. I mean, I'd give you 20% CDR, I'd give you the health, give you the attack speed debuff. So maybe Frozen Heart would be another item that you could get after Locket. I don't know if I like Iceborne Gauntlet as much on him, because you already have so many slows. The Ice Field probably is not going to matter, but Frozen Heart could be pretty good. But yeah, as you can see with your Q, it starts to do a lot more damage, and the cooldown goes down a lot. So, okay, let's go ahead and get in here. So, once again, we're going to watch it, we're going to take notes, and then at the end, we'll bring it all together. Now, Braum is becoming pretty popular right now. Specifically as a counter pick to Ornn in professional play. Keep in mind that in many cases, Braum is not going to scale as well as something like the Enchanters. So like a Rakan, a Soraka, a Janna. Because healing and shielding, the way that that multiplies together and amplifies the power of team fights, he's not going to be able to keep up with that as much. But he is a lot tankier, and he does have very specific applications for stopping things like Ornn ults. He can block Twitch ults, Ezreal ults, Ashe arrows. So there are a lot of things you can block. I don't think it blocks a Vel'Koz laser. I don't know. I guess we'll probably find out in this game. It doesn't block some things like Lux laser because the way it's like coded into the game, it's just like, it's not a projectile, it just appears. I think Vel'Koz's laser is part of that. His ultimate. But we'll see. Yeah, just play up a little bit more. Try to stay close to the minions. Now, this is a really annoying lane for Braum because they're just going to poke you out. Your Tristana did take Relic Shield, though, which is good. Hopefully you have Second Wind. I can't see which runes you have, but I assume you probably have Second Wind. I didn't see if you have Guardian or not. I wasn't paying attention early on. I guess we'll find out here in a little bit. Okay, good harassment. Good. Now, Braum is also better if you have a lot of auto-attack champions on your team, obviously to proc your passive faster, so... You know, if you have things like a Master Yi, or a Yasuo, or a Camille, just anything that's going to be auto-attacking a lot. Good block. Then Ornn's going to be a good pick. A better pick, I should say. Your Teemo does auto-attack a lot, so that's good. Like Malzahar and Sejuani. Braum is a good combo with Sejuani as well, because you can chain your stuns together. Like, it's just so much frozen. So that Braum is a very good combo with Sej. I forgot what Sej's ice... I think... Isn't Sej's ice also auto attacks, but she procs it with her E instead of other people proccing it? It's something like that. It's been a while since I played Sejuani, but I think that other people can add stacks to it with their basic attacks, and then she procs it with her E. Whereas Braum, you start it, and then they can fully stun. So yeah. The team fight with both those two is pretty nasty. So this is a pretty good team comp for Braum. Okay, you don't want him to back. So what Ezreal wants to do typically is he wants to just kind of push in, use all of his mana to poke, get his Klepto stacks, all of that kind of stuff. He wants to do that, and then he wants to back to buy tier of the Goddess. Usually around like level 4 or so, depending on how well he's farming. So you don't want him to do that. You want to push up, but at the same time, you want to make sure you don't get killed. Shyvana's not that dangerous, and you know Shyvana's here. Yeah, she procs it herself. You need to, yeah, ping that they're missing and tell her to get out of there. Okay, good. You may want to go up and, like, once you push in, go ward this tri-bush or something. Okay, so you know Shyvana just got run out of the jungle, so you can push in. You kind of want to push in and make this Ezreal use his Q to farm, so he can't hit you for Klepto procs. You guys do not want to back here. You want to keep him, hold him in this lane. So what you want to do, ideally, is you keep pressuring the lane. Do not let him back. And then you want to back and get a BF sword when he backs in tiers. There's a very small window where you can have a lot of domination over him when he has tier and you have BF sword. So you do want Tristana to back when she has a BF sword, which is pretty close to level 6. So the timing window is a little interesting. You can kind of track her farm. Each CS is worth about 20 gold. And then she's going to get ambient gold. I don't know the exact math on it, but she's... Okay, good. You guys can all in that. You can all in that. Yeah. Good. Whoa, too much. And we don't know where... Okay, Shyvana is top. Mid's missing. Now, she's not 6 yet, but... Yeah, push him in and just go ahead and back, because you have gold now. Tristana almost certainly has her BF sword at this point. She's got 800 gold from minions, and she's going to have 400 from that kill, so she's going to have 1,200 at least, and then she's going to have some off of Relic Shield. And then ambient gold, so yeah, she's definitely got it. I'd say she probably has like maybe 1,600 gold right now, 1,700 gold. He's going to stop her with a Q, probably. Oh my gosh, he should have just thrown a random Q in there. It's really lucky. Almost everybody just, if they have something to throw in that bush, just throws it in there. Okay, so she got a BF sword and a cloth armor. That's weird. That's bad. I really wish that was boots. Like, you want to get boots kind of early against... Good, you got boots. Against skill shot champs, because, you know, it helps you dodge skill shots better. So, if you're against the poke lane, stop him if you can. Jump to this minion and Q him. Okay, good. Great. So you guys are getting out farmed a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. You guys can fight. Fight. Yeah, fight, fight, fight. Yeah, Ezreal has no items. You have a BF sword. Good. No, run. Okay, good, good. She's dead, just run. Probably. Okay. Yeah, just forget it. That's good. Good. Okay, so what I want you to do here is freeze it right here. You're gonna have to kill a couple of these minions, yeah. Just face tank this. Good. Kill a couple of, just kill like these on the front line here. Good freeze. You kill a couple. It's too big. It's gonna crash in the tower. You should like kill like just, like I said, just kill the front line. It'll probably be okay. She's gonna miss like a couple, but overall that's good. That's the right idea. You want to freeze and try to keep it for your 80 carry. If you had killed those front three, though, she probably would have been here for the cannon. So, not a huge deal, but if you're playing for perfection, I think killing a couple of those there would have been helpful. Ping that you're on your way so that she'll run. Okay, she got him anyways. Okay, good. What do you have? Sight stone? Okay, good. That's perfect. Yeah, she should run. Yeah. Okay, good. Wait for him to jump and then ult him. Okay, or he can just not jump. That's fine too. Okay, good. I don't know why she got cloth armor. That seems really bizarre. But, I mean, I guess it worked out. It did save a lot of damage on her. Okay, good. Good warding. That's great. I mean, it's pretty much perfect so far. There's, like, very, very little that I can see to improve on here. Other than, like I said, just slightly adjusting your freeze. I would put that in a better place. It is nice to get vision there, but since you guys are winning lane so hard, I would use that aggressively. So I would, like, pink this bush, like, push him in a tower and pink this bush. Yeah, Maokai has teleport, too. So you need to make sure they don't have wards in these bushes while you're getting aggressive so they don't teleport behind you. Oh, she's... Okay, good block. Q if you can. Try to see if... Good. Good body block. Okay. Well, he gave up on that pretty easily. He's gonna stop you with a Q. Maybe. Oof. Okay, nice work. Oh, she got a full Infinity Edge. Yeah, she's huge. But yeah, I would get a bit more aggressive. If you're winning the lane, you want to use your pink to deny vision in these lane bushes. And that creates a lot of extra pressure because then they don't know when you're going to hit them with Qs. And it also clears out potential teleport wards so that Maokai can't get behind you. Like over here it's good, like you're spotting Shiv and everything, but this one also gives you some good Shiv vision. But it's not denying the enemy vision. And that's a big part of control wards typically. Now, if you're losing lane, if they're just going to clear your wards anyway, so if you're getting pushed in like this all game, it's just not a good place to put a control ward. So if you put it in these bushes, they're just going to clear it. Then you can think about putting it in sneaky spots like this, just for better defensive vision. Or like donating it upriver to this bush, or like warding this bush just to shut out vision along this ridge. Something like that. But if you're winning lane this hard, you need to be using it aggressively. I don't like Mobies here. I mean, they're okay, but once again, Braum, like, part of your job as Braum is like to actually get hit a lot in the face with your shield. And so you really want as many resistances as you can get. And he has some pretty decent scaling on his W with armor as well, so... Like, I think that mobility boots are mostly for champions that roam and have some kind of, like, hard initiate, and that's their thing. So, like, Alistar, Rakan, Blitzcrank, Thresh. But people who are actually going to sit in combat and fight a lot, like a Tarek or a Braum, who need to sit there and just try to auto-attack, they really need to be getting defensive boots, I think. So like Ninja Tabi or Merc Treads. Yeah, you guys can fight him, I think. Yeah. Yeah, good shield block him. Okay, nice. Great ult. Oh, that's a tilter. Okay, you guys got him. The Flash Ignite. Hey, Triss goofed that up, though. She had a chance. She had her chance. Okay, I haven't seen... Okay, there's Shiv. Okay, yeah, just keep pushing this. Just get this. Watch out for her rotating downriver, though. Potentially. She wants that dragon, too. Like, Shiv wants to kill you and get dragon. Like, that's... Any of these, like, dragon-killing champions... Now, she's coming for you, probably, so... Y'all need to watch out. I don't... You might be able to fight her, but... Triss is out of mana and she's half health. Yeah, these, like, dragon-fighting champs... I would just base. Just base. She's too low on mana and health. She has a lot of gold from those kills. I think this is really dicey. I think they're going to triple kill you guys and get that dragon now. I would have just base. Like, you need more wards. Like, your coverage is going down. You don't have zombie wards. Yeah, it's really bad. Really bad. Shyvana is very scary. She's going kind of an odd build, but... Yeah, and then she wants the dragon. So like I said, she wants to kill you and get these dragons. Like, that's Shyvana's thing. So I would have backed. Tristana is half health, mana. She was sitting on a lot of gold. So you guys are still ahead, but... Yeah, it's a pretty big goof. I would have pinged her back. Cause yeah, like, you didn't have your ult either. Like, she didn't have her ult, you didn't have your ult, you don't have summoners. She's sitting on gold. Each of you is like half health, low mana, like no vision. You know, all of these are just warning signs. And any of those individually would be bad, but like all of those in conjunction mean that you don't want to fight. And you had the wave pushed in. So like this wave was pushed over to here. So that means you had a really good opportunity to back with a low probability that they were going to rush dragon. They could have, but that was like, if you're going to back, that's the best time to do it. Now, you know they're all up here. Like, there's really no reason to be down here right now. I mean, getting in some extra vision's good. That's too deep for right now. Until the tier 2 towers go down, you don't need to be this far. I would have rotated up here. You need to follow Vel'Koz around. Because right now, you're just not doing anything productive. Like, you didn't even get wards in here, you know? Guess I'll write that down. Okay. Yes, Vel'Koz really is, like, miscalculating that Braum stun. You have to understand that if he gets Braum stun, he's probably dead. Yeah, y'all need to leave. You're up way too far. Like, you should have had vision in here. I'm not sure... Are these are yours? Yeah, you need better vision than this, because, like, this is warding the camps, but especially if you're, like, just free roaming in their jungle and you know their jungler's top lane, like, get all of the good vision. Like, ward this, ward this. Like, this is giving you very little visibility of anything except for the camps. Now, this does get swept a lot. So if you're worried about this getting swept, let me pause this real quickly. If you're worried about that getting swept, the best places to ward are like here and right here. And the reason is, if they put a pink in this bush, which is pretty common, it won't see either one of these spots. This is like the best one for people sweeping, because the pink's not going to see it. People often sweep and walk this way. So that won't see it, or if people are sweeping here, they'll sweep and walk this way. So this almost always goes undetected right here. And this will give you, like, it doesn't have vision of the camp, but it gives you really good vision of a very common walkway in the jungle. This is a little more likely to get detected, potentially if they have a pink in here, but still it's very low likelihood that's going to happen because control ward's not going to find it, and common sweep paths are not going to find it. So when you're in here, if it's open jungle and you have, you know, the tier 1 towers down, you want to ward here, here, and probably like either here or like over here somewhere. Like anything like around this bush is going to get cleared. This is a little less likely. This, like, the places they're going to sweep the most or pink is going to be this bush and this bush. So you can play around that. So I'd say probably here, here, and like here in the mid game. It'll give you the best vision. Or you could put it like here. This is another kind of interesting spot, because if they pink that, it probably won't see here, but you still get good vision of this. So I think you guys got ganked and killed bottom because the vision that you had was insufficient. You didn't see them coming fast enough. So like Ezreal just rotated right past this ward. Do you see that? So you didn't even see him, and you're not going to see him here either until he's already right there. So you see that's like a perfect example of like this guy. You're only seeing him because of this minion. But if you didn't have that minion, you wouldn't even see him. Like he's walking completely around that ward, and he's getting all the way to here before you see him. And when he's here, it's too late. You're already dead if you're right here. And he's like, you know, a scary threat. So that's why I'm saying you got to have a little bit better vision. Like, these are very defensive wards. Like, this is like, you're sieging mid lane and you want to make sure someone doesn't flank you. So you put a ward here, basically. Or, like, you're just running into their jungle really quick and you're scared and you're not going to have any vision, and you just put one down right there. You know? But if you have complete open jungle, you need to optimize a little bit more on the wards. Who's strong? Shyvana's really strong, so you need to watch out for that. She didn't upgrade her jungle item, so she's going to be behind in levels, potentially. She's actually up 2 levels, but if she had to upgrade that jungle item, she'd be really far up in levels. Someone needs to get this wave down here. You need to ping Shyvana. It always amazes me how, like, junglers, like, won't leave their jungle to go catch farm. Like, this is so much more valuable than Gromp. Like, if she got all this, that's like 300 gold or something. Junglers just so often just don't even look at the lanes. Like, Shyvana should have rotated over to get this. That tower took a beating, and y'all lost a lot of free stuff there. Teemo should have waited for him to go through the mushrooms. Okay, good. Apply stacks to him. Auto him. There you go. Or her. Yeah, you're just gonna have to run. You're probably dead. Yeah. Let me see how you could play that a little better. I mean, Teemo should have waited until they walked through the mushrooms first. Yeah, I think you should have been over here, faded that way with them. Tristan's just down here AFK farming. Like, you guys really shouldn't probably try to set that up without Tristana. Also, there's a decent chance something in here is warded. Let me see if it's warded really quickly. Yeah, this is warded, so they know you're in here. So this is why it's so important to buy a lot of control wards and have sweepers, because they knew you were here doing this. So they know all of this is going on, and that's why they made such, like, that's why they grouped up, and that's why they're playing back so far, and that's why they're all rotating over here. So they have 5 people, because they know it's happening, all because of this ward. Like, if that ward was cleared out, if you swept that ward or used a control ward earlier to clear that vision out, then that would have been so much better. You would have had just 1 or 2 people trying to walk through that instead of 5. So they had full intel on you. They knew Tristana wasn't there because they see her farming bottom. they know you're hanging out there waiting, and so that one little ward just ruined your entire day. So once again, this kind of feeds into the, you know, the need for having really tight, like, good vision control. That's why I'm always talking about, like, buying a lot of control wards and using them aggressively. Because this control ward right here, it's given you some vision this game, but it's much better to replace this control ward to shut out enemy vision. So just because they haven't killed it doesn't mean you shouldn't replace it. You should be using it like an extra sweeper constantly to get more vision. So that's a great spot. You have to know that this is going to be warded. Like I said, the high probability for places to be warded and swept are right here and right here. This is always, almost always warded. Late in the game. If the enemy's in a defensive position like this. That's the #1 place they're going to ward. Okay, so I'll write some of that down here. Yeah, so don't get caught in the value trap proposition of thinking that control wards are a tax, right? I think there are too many times people out there think, oh, what's the 75 gold tax? I don't want to buy that. It's going to slow down my build and stuff like that. That's the most powerful item in the game, honestly, is a control ward. Like, you saw that vision? That gave the enemy, like, 4 kills. That's like, they invested... They didn't even invest any gold because that was a sight stone there. But if you had invested 75 gold, you would have denied the enemy, like, over 1,000 gold in value. And you potentially could have had hundreds, if not thousands of gold yourself. So that's potentially a multi-thousand gold swing for a 75 gold item. Think of just how cost efficient that is. 75 gold investment to get 2,000 gold in value. That's really efficient. You know, it's like 100,000% efficient. Maybe not that much, but like 1,000% efficient would be times 10. It's like 3,000% efficiency or something insane like that. So, control wards. Don't just think that just because you have one on the map, it's like, oh, it's a good value proposition. I've got my control ward on the map. I don't want to spend money buying more of them. I'm not saying you're thinking that, but I'm saying that a lot of people out there think that. I've had people tell me that I get too many control wards. Like, if you watch a lot of pro play or, like, high-end challenger play, most of those people get a lot of control wards. A lot. Like, the #1 support for a while, Stunt, who's on a pro team now. I'm not sure. I forgot which one it is. But there would be some games where he's literally buying, like, 15 control wards in them. Control wards are no joke. That's part of why, like, pro supports don't have a lot of items is because they spend most of their gold. First of all, there's not as many kills, so they just don't have as much gold, but also they spend so much money on control wards and vision control. They don't have as much money for other items, which doesn't sound fun, but if you want to win, that's how you do it. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. Okay, I like the itemization. I assume you're going for Knight's Vow next. Shitana got Ninja Tabi, which kind of sucks, but... So her damage output's going to be a lot lower than normal. Yeah, perfect. Good. Yeah, because there are 2 people down here. Just watch that Lux laser. You need to ward this. Do you have wards right now? Yeah, you need to go ward this. And probably this. I mean, you do see Lux. But in general, when you're setting up for Baron, you need to at least just take a couple of seconds when you're walking there. Ward this. Make sure this is warded. You guys already had sort of a ward there. But this 100% needs to be warded. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah, it looks like your shield does not stop that laser, so... I didn't think it did. It doesn't count as a projectile. Okay. Ezreal went for a really super low damage build, so that's good. Be careful, like you don't need to be here. No, you're too far. You're too far away from everybody. It's highly likely this is warded. Like, they probably know you're walking through here. Like, there are 2 top, but that's just really dangerous. Just wait. Just, like, push up and just wait until you have backup, and then go do it. Now, she's really low, and she just used her jump randomly, so... it's probably bad. Okay, you do have Guardian. You don't have Zombie Ward. I'm not sure what you have, because you didn't have Magical Footwear either. I don't think. Okay, yeah, good rotation down here. You need to sweep. Is your sweeper up? You need to be sweeping more. Yeah, you can't forget to use that sweeper. Come over here. Come over here. Don't go up and support Teemo. Teemo doesn't matter. I mean, I know you want that other tower, but you guys, you guys don't push fast enough. I don't think they're gonna come over here in time. Maybe. I mean, maybe you get it. We'll see. But you left and they just collapsed and killed 2 of your people. I guess you do have the mushrooms. I mean, it's okay. It's iffy. I think if you want to go do that, you need to ping them back and ping that you're going over there. I didn't see you do that. Maybe you did. You did target a tower. I saw that. But, like, ping it a lot. Ping them back and just type where you're going. Just so they know. I mean, maybe they still get caught, but just communicate that a little bit better, that that's where you want to go. So I do like that you're rotating around getting the objectives. That's good, but just communicate that a little bit more. So hopefully that'll lower the probability they get caught. Teemo's probably dead. What? Why would he not just sit invisible? Okay. Okay. Okay, Teemo. Oh, he actually went the smart Teemo build. Which is, like, full AP. The on-hit Teemo's trash. I really hate on-hit Teemo. Full AP Teemo actually hits like a truck, though, when he gets, like, 3 items. And those are the correct 3 items, too. Well, Morellonomicon's pretty good, too. But Luden's Echo, definitely Rylai's, and Voice Stabs. This Teemo's actually pretty legit. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't mind kind of coming down here and just playing around with Teemo. You could have pushed middle also, but like stopping their back's kind of important too. Okay, good. Yeah, call out that dragon. Even though it's just wind dragon, you'll hear some people talking trash about wind. It's still a dragon, you know? It's still, like, the rotation, the map's really open right now, and having that extra, I think, 8% out of combat movement speed is really good. It might even be more than that. I don't remember how much wind gives you. Or Cloud Drake. I feel like it's 8. It might be as high as 15. Either way, it's pretty good on an open map. Yeah, so she's gonna die. You guys need to pressure bottom. Go bot. This wave's already pushing. You guys need to be down here working this one. Yeah, there's nothing you're gonna get here. Like, you're just gonna push this up, and then they're just gonna clear it. You know, it's not creating any additional pressure. So yeah, you need to be coming down here. You need to ping them over here. They're starting to get into Fiesta mode. People are starting to roam around aimlessly. You need to get them together. Like, they're not gonna get this. This is a waste of time. And remember, you're on the clock. Once this inhibitor's down, it's not permanent. It comes back in 2.5 minutes. So you really need to use that pressure that you have. You can't waste it. Like, y'all just wasted... How much time did you actually waste there? Let me see. I'm going to bet a minute. Okay. So you guys, instead of rotating middle, you should have gone bottom. And you could have been pushing. Like, this is already going to push in. So that's what? 40... What was it? Started at 45? So you got 1 kill. How long before you guys get to bottom lane? Okay, that's about where you could have started rotating. Yeah, so it's about a minute. Almost literally 1 minute. So that wasted about 40% of your Baron or your inhibitor time. Baron's going to be up in a minute 32. Yeah, you're the only one over here doing the correct thing. You need to ping them over here to do this. Braum doesn't have much wave clear. These guys are literally just running back and forth instead of quitting this. No, you can't back, man. Y'all got to apply pressure. There's just 2 minutes of wasted time if you back. You need to tell them, like, get over here and help me wave clear. No, this is... They have... Why would they walk through the jungle? Or the... I always want to say the woods. Why would they walk through the jungle right now? Like, there's no reason they're ever going to walk out there. They're just going to sit in their base and wave clear and just wait on inhibitor. Okay. That worked out. Y'all don't have Tristana, so... Yeah. That's bad. Y'all opted into a 4v5 under their tower. You can't do that. Cannot do that. I know you guys are strong. But, yeah, you guys opted into that. Like, I mean, yeah, you did kill somebody virtually instantly, but used both of your really powerful summoners to do it. You're out of position. Like, you see that Tristana's not there. So the correct play here is just to push this up and just chill. Like, just constantly apply pressure, but don't let them, just do not fight him. Wait on Tristana. Try to get her down here. If she doesn't come down, just, you know, wait. But you can't fight. That's the one thing you can't do, is opt into a 4v5 like that. You might say, well, we turn it into a 4v4. True, but once again, you don't have your summoners at that point. And you're all grouped up, and they get to spam all of their ults on you now because there's no engaged threat anymore. You don't have any CC to shut the Vel'Koz up, or to... And Lux gets to just spam her ult across you. Yeah, so that bought him a lot of time there. But yeah, the reason that bush bait's probably not going to work is because there's no objective in here. Like, if there was a red buff, maybe it would work, or like a dragon, and you think someone's going to walk through here to do it, maybe that works. But if there's no red, there's no dragon, like, they're not going to leave their base, most likely. They're just going to sit there and farm. But yeah, this is good. This is what you need to be doing. No, set up vision first. Vision first. It's going to take you years to kill that thing. Just set vision right here and right here. You know 2 of them are here, so they're probably not going to kill you, but... No, is she serious? She got wolves. Is she seriously getting Gromp? I thought inhibitors were only down for 2.5 minutes. I guess I have to look that up. Maybe they're down for longer. Maybe I'm thinking of the dragon buff time. I'll have to look that up after the game. I thought it was only 2.5 minutes, but maybe it's like 5 minutes. I thought it... Maybe it's the same as Baron timer. I'm gonna have to look it up. I know they lowered it at some point, but... Okay, well, y'all still had enough pressure at the end of the day. Alright, inhibitors are back. You guys gotta take this or you can't hurt the tower. I guess you get... What is it? You can get the tower, but you can't get the... Okay, the inhibitor is down. Okay. And itemization solid. Yeah, it's exactly what you should get on this patch. So the itemization is perfect. Micro was great. For the most part, I didn't see any, like, you know, glaring mistakes in micro, so that was good. Just basically working on more of this macro type of stuff I think will help. Let me see, is it? 8 minion waves. Wait, that's not right. It's only 1 minion, 1 super minion. Yeah, this is outdated. It's only 2 if you... Oh, they increase the timer. Okay, so it is 5 minutes. It used to be 4 minutes. As of a long time ago. Okay, so it's 5-minute timer. Okay, anyways. So there's our trivia. You got 5 minutes on it. But still, you know, wasting 2 minutes of that time is still not a great proposition. Okay, so let's talk about some things you can work on here. So that was, overall, that was really, really good. Especially for silver, like, that was great. You got the perfect items. You had just really good game sense in fights. You microed really well in the fights. I mean, you just basically did everything that I was just saying to do on the stream. You got, yeah, it was very, very good. I do think that shot calling a lot more would help. You had some of your team running around, just starting to get a little wild in the mid-game. And you did some shot calling. You did tell them to go get Dragon. You did tell them where you were going. You just got to be a bit more insistent with it. You know, like ping Dragon like 3 or 4 times. And ping the Dragon timer. Like, it helps to do advanced pings. Not just like assist here, I'm going here. But ping like what you're doing. Right, so just ping the Dragon like 4 times. You did ping the tower, but ping like I'm on my way here, ping back where you are. Like, just communicate a little bit more with the pings. Like, ping Tristana a few times and like assist, see if she'll come over there. Tell your team, wait, don't fight, Tristana's not here. Like, just announce these things to your team. Just type like 4v5, don't fight, ping back, like when Tristana's not there. Okay, because a lot of people just won't notice that kind of stuff, and they'll just be like, oh, it's a fight, let's do it. Okay, but more specific things here. So back and buy when your team is low on resources. This happened, and this is one of the few sort of mistakes that I saw, like, sort of directly from you. Is you sort of went along. Well, it wasn't just you, but it was a lot of it was the Tristana. But you guys tried to fight that Shyvana in her jungle with no vision when neither one of you had ults or summoners, and Tristana was at like half mana, half health. Yeah, that was something you don't want to do. So if you're, you need to be thinking, okay, what are my resources? So like resources would include things like health, mana, summoner spells, important cooldowns like your ults, vision. All of these things are resources that help you win fights. So if you don't have a lot of those, if you don't have summoners or vision or health or like ultimate cooldowns, then you need to not fight. If you have all of those things, then you do fight. Or conversely, if the enemy doesn't have those things, you can consider fighting. So if you know they don't have vision, if they're low on health, if you know they wasted their cooldown or they don't have flash, those are all like, signs that you should probably fight. So just think about these things before you start a fight. Just think, okay, what do we have? What do they have? Should we fight? Yay or nay? And if you don't want to run through all that stuff in your head, just at least look at the health and mana bars and just think, okay, we're low, we shouldn't fight. Also, Tristana was sitting on money because she hadn't backed yet, and that's really bad. If you're sitting on more than like, I guess it depends on the situation, but definitely after you take a tower and get a couple of kills bottom, she probably had at least 1,000 gold. You really need to go back and buy to use that, put that gold to work. Yeah, just optimize your vision in the jungle. So where you warded those camps are like really, those are very, very defensive wards. If you're afraid they're going to get swept or you're going to get killed before you can get good wards in the jungle. But because you knew Shyvana was topside while you were in there walking around, you could have gotten those more optimal wards that I mentioned. Because those wards that you had weren't really giving enough vision to help you make good decisions. And you died bottom because of that. Or like you and Triss died because of those wards. You couldn't see the people that were rotating bottom to get you until it was too late. A lot of the time. So just go back and watch that section if you want to talk about some more optimal places you could ward. If you want to know more about warding, I have an entire video on that. I think it's like 5 tips for better macro on the channel. Just be sure to check that out. I talk about warding quite a lot in there. I have another video called Vision Domination in my guides section that's just all about vision. So if you want like a really in-depth guide about vision, be sure to check that out also. And I talk about good ward spots and kind of the theory behind warding. All that good stuff. We mentioned that before too. Like, it's not good enough just to have your pink, just to have a pink ward on the map. It needs to be shutting out enemy vision and constantly moving that pink ward around to optimize the plays that you're trying to make. So if you're trying to go for Baron, you might even use your sweeper to cover a lot of area. Use a pink ward to cover a bush maybe you weren't able to get with your sweeper, then use another pink to cover Baron. Or I guess a red now. They used to be pink. But use a control ward like that. So you should constantly be using more control wards. And I don't know if I have that map. I think I closed the map. Okay. So, like, popular places where you probably want to pink. These bushes right here are really important. Like, you can use your sweeper as well, but if your sweeper's down, think of your pink as like an extra sweeper. But these are really good to ward. So if you're going to contest Baron soon, having a pink ward here, there's a lot of action on this side of the map. Usually here is a better place. You want to put it kind of near your wall, just a little bit out. And then that way, if they want to go clear it, they have to get very close to your side of the bush to clear it. They can't clear it over this wall. You never want to place it like right here, because they can just clear it over the wall. Like right here is going to force them to come all the way around. So this is a good place to pink. If you can get aggressive in their jungle, this is a good place to pink. So that's going to allow you to move freely through here usually without getting spotted. This is probably too aggressive most of the time. You can do this if you're super far ahead, but they're almost always going to clear this one. If you're going to ward this bush, at least commit it to like right here so that you can see more of this alleyway. And I would say if you want to put it here, a lot of times it's just better just to put it here, because then you're going to have vision of this. I mean, the most common place where people walk in the jungle is through here, like right down this alleyway. That's the most common place. Over here, this is like sort of common to like walk and maybe go down this way, but this is definitely the most trafficked area is right around Red Bush right here. That's like right in the center of everything. Other good pink places, you know, might be like, there's a lot of action over here, you know, you could pink this or like pink this. You can pink these river bushes too if you want to. But yeah, just try to use your pinks more proactively, buy more of them, and try to shut out enemy vision with that. So be more proactive with your time. So the best example of this, the two I could think of where your team was just kind of running around middle and then they're just running around the jungle and just sitting, like just wasting like 2 minutes instead of pushing up bot lane. Like if Super's already pushing a lane, there's very little to be gained by having a champion in that lane also pushing, because it's going to achieve the same effect. And it's a very low likelihood you're going to kill the enemy there. They're just going to retreat to their 2 base towers, and you're not going to be able to pressure those base towers off of 1 inhibitor most of the time, unless a lot of the enemies are already dead. So you should have rotated bottom, pushed that. Another one was when you're just kind of wandering around, getting that vision of their jungle while everyone else is fighting top. You should have gone up there and maybe put a couple wards in really quickly and pushed with Triss on the bottom, or better yet, you should have rotated top to match the Vel'Koz roam to help participate in that team fight. I think your team got wiped out up there, and if you would have been there, you might have been able to change that up. And finally, and I've mentioned this several times, just shot call more, direct your team to make the right plays faster. So you were shot calling some, and that was good, but be more insistent. You want them to get dragon, ping dragon 3 times. Make sure they know that dragon's coming up before it's actually up. So you need to be watching that timer, and when it's about 1 minute to 45 seconds, start pinging it every 15 seconds or so. Ping it at 1 minute, ping it at 45, ping it at 30. Tell your team, go by, like get prepared, or help me ward for dragon. That type of stuff. So just be a little bit more proactive in what you're doing, and use more of these smart pings. I don't know if you're doing it, but if you see enemy summoners, like flashes in your lane, obviously, but if you see like the enemy top laner teleport, ping the teleport, or the mid laner, if you watch them flash on your mini-map, you see them jump from one place to the next, there's a good chance they flash. Go ahead and ping the flash. So just always ping the summoners as well. And ping your cooldowns too. I don't know if you do that. Once again, I can't see it in the client, but if your team's getting ready to fight and you don't have your ultimate for 10 seconds, just ping your ultimate and say, wait, 10 seconds on my ult, or whatever. Or if you're really low on health or really low on mana, like ping your health, ping your mana. Just let them know sort of the situation and what's going on. Or if your ignite's going to be up in 10 seconds, like tell the Tristana to wait until your ignite's up. So just shot call more, communicate better with your teams with pings. You did that some. Continue to do that, upgrade it, do it a little bit more, and I think that should help. But overall, great job. Like I said, it was right items. You controlled the team fights very well. I think your individual decision-making was pretty good for the most part. Just work on these things. Just get your team to back and buy when you don't have a lot of resources. You're down summoners, you're down ultimate cooldowns, all that stuff, especially if your ADC is sitting on a lot of gold. Optimize your vision in the jungle, be more thorough. Those are fine wards, like those are good wards against Eve, or if you're really scared for your life, you need really defensive wards, those are okay. But if you're in a more aggressive position on the map, you can get better vision than that. Use control wards more proactively to deny vision. Rotate faster, be more proactive with your time. Always try to do something productive. You don't just want to amble about and just kind of wait on things. You should always be doing something to help progress your advantage on the map. And then shot call more, just direct your team to the right plays a little bit faster. But overall, great job. Really impressed. This is really awesome for Silver. I think you're going to go up pretty quickly, especially if you implement a few of these things. You should see some really big results. So thank you very much. Have a good day, and I'll see everybody next time.